Hello guys, welcome back to Roxum TV and also welcome back to Jam Crypto, whichever platform you're watching on. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and also happy Friday. As for Bitcoin, it's kind of flipping between the narrative of we are so back and we are so off. It's funny to see how the narrative is switching so much. And right now we're sitting at 110K. It's basically a psychology number because we were trading when 107K yesterday. People were saying, okay, we have seen the cycle top ready, but right now the narrative on Twitter is switching. Okay, maybe the best time is still ahead of us. Anyways, like the reason why we are still experiencing this correction is basically everyone is pointing finger at Binance, at CC in particular, because there's so much FUD on Binance on towards CC and Binance right now. And we did cover Binance extensively in our yesterday live stream. So if you guys are curious, why people are pointing finger at Binance and saying that we are in where we are right now is because of Binance crashing the market and cooperating with stuff like with a market maker like Wintermute. So if you guys want to know the details, I'll recommend you checking out yesterday's live stream. But what we know for today, what we confirmed by now, is that CC is making the news again because Donald Trump pardoned CC yesterday. When I say yesterday, it was during Asia's sleeping time. So when I woke up and when I saw this news, I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge and we have to cover on Roxum TV. So what we have is that lots of CC news. So Donald Trump pardoned CC. Basically, CC is no longer like he doesn't have the criminal record anymore. That's what it means for pardoning someone. And we also have CC arguing, kind of debating with Peter Schiff. If you guys into gold, you know that Peter Schiff is a long-term shield when it comes to gold, and he is 100% against BTC. Right now is they are having a fight over Twitter, maybe a proper debate in the I don't know coming days. So we're definitely gonna watch over there. Gonna give you guys the latest updates. Anyways, as I always start my show with a little bit of TA, with a little bit of Bitcoin charts, and also a little bit of on-chain to basically see where Bitcoin is heading to right now. So anyways, let me hop onto my laptop. So I drew this trend line basically since 126K when Bitcoin made this all-time high. And we have been in this trend line going down for quite some time. I kind of want to show my chart instead of the article. So if we could show the Bitcoin TA chart instead, that'll be great. So anyways, I think the team is figuring out how to show the screen sharing. So anyways, what I'm saying is that if we could, if we, is it going okay with the screen sharing? Because what I'm seeing right here on the TA chart is that Bitcoin has been trending down ever since 126K. Let me see if my team managed to fix the screen sharing. Yeah, so if we can't see that, I'm just gonna say what I see on the chart instead. Do I have to share the screen again? Okay, okay. Bear with me, guys, because this is what happened on a live stream. But like, just give me a few minutes. Try to fix that. All right, because I have to go and log into this, sharing my screen again. All right, so let's hope this works right now. So I'm sharing my screen again. Let's see if you guys can. Okay, there you go. So that's the Bitcoin chart on the screen. So anyways, as I was saying, Bitcoin has been trending down ever since 126K. So we weren't bearish when we have this like Black Friday crash, but we were bearish when Bitcoin forming this like general downtrend. So I would say, okay, I didn't predict the market. Of course, like if I had predicted the market crash, that would make me a market maker, which I'm not. So anyways, as I keep talking about this for days or even like more than a week, basically. So as I keep talking about this downtrend, I know people get really excited when we reach 114K. That was back on Tuesday. So just literally 3 days ago, people were so feeling the hype, feeling the hype. We were back on. We're gonna go back to the test the all-time high again when we were at 114K. But I was like, no, guys, just wake me up when we actually broken out of this downtrend that we have been forming for 2 weeks. So right now, one thing interesting on this like shorter time frame on the 1 hourly chart of Bitcoin is that we are really squeezing in that momentum. So inside this triangle, we have been building for basically 2 weeks. So it looks like, okay, we have confirmation either we're going to do a leg up or basically break down this support level. Like one thing interesting is that we have higher lows on the support line as well. So in order for me to flip bullish, because when everyone was calling, okay, we're going to head higher at 114K, like things are looking better, I was like, no, just wake me up when we actually broken out of this downtrend. So in order for me to flip bullish in the market, first of all, I would want to see the hourly candle. So we touch this downward trend, but we got rejected very quickly. Like we didn't actually close above this downtrend. So for me to be bullish, flip bullish again, like full on, let's go, new all-time high, that mentality, I need to see Bitcoin actually break out of this downtrend overall, this general downtrend, and not just like touching, because right now we are still touching it. We are at 111,000. We touch, okay, maybe there's like one hourly candle close above that, but we quickly get rejected. So this is a critical level that I'm watching. I need to see Bitcoin sustain and actually close above that. Maybe 2 or 3 hourly candles close above this downtrend. So that's one. The second one, that a critical level I'm watching very closely is that, okay, first we need to break out of this once and for all. Okay, that's criteria number one. Criteria number two is that I need to see Bitcoin above 113K. That's another critical level that we have to watch. If 113K get rejected again, then very likely we're gonna go back and test this support line. So this support line is actually rising. So we have a rising floor. So maybe we're gonna go back and test 108 or 107K if we get rejected. So this is what I saw on the hourly chart. So all eyes to see whether Bitcoin can break out of this downtrend and also really sustain 113K for basically a few hourly candles instead of just like kissing it or touching it. So that's on the shorter time frame. Today we kind of, okay, if you guys are traders, if you guys like to trade the market and being very diligent about it. So today we have the inflation data coming out. The report was supposed to be released actually on 15th of October. But as you know, the government is still on a shutdown right now. So that's why we kind of have this delay and all eyes on the inflation report that coming in a few hours. So that's one thing we need to basically have that bear in mind if you guys want to trade the shorter time frame because it's literally coming out in hours. So let's also hop onto the daily chart, slowly building up that time frame. So all right, so as we are on the daily chart of Bitcoin, again, like this triangle is really squeezing in and building that momentum. Let's see if Bitcoin managed to break above that. let's see if we end up getting a leg up or a leg down. Because either way, we know there's a huge move coming. That's why we have this like squeezing inside this triangle. So again, we need to sustain 113K. So if we hop onto the daily chart, we are seeing like 113K is almost like the mid-level that Bitcoin need to sustain. Otherwise, 100 and okay, let me remove that. So otherwise, 108K is still on the table. So this rising floor line, rising support. But okay, we still have bullish catalysts in the coming days, I would say. So since we are on the daily chart right now, first and for all, of course, we know that there will be rate cuts to come. So FOMC meeting, we're going to have the Fed decision on 29th of October. Right now, like 98% of people are expecting we're going to get a 25 basis point cut. So that's coming in days. So that's one bullish catalyst. The second one is the US trade. So the tariffs trade with China. So let's see if US end up making a deal on 1st of November, possibly earlier than that. So that's again days to come. And then the third bullish catalyst is actually US shutdown because it has to come to an end. US has been on shutdown since 1st of October and today is the 24th. That means we have been in a shutdown for 24 days. During Donald Trump's first term, he shut down the government for 35 days. So we are getting close to that 35 days mark. Possibly like we're gonna have to see this come to an end soon, because what a shutdown means is that hundreds of thousands of federal workers don't get paid. So for a few, okay, maybe for a few days or like the first 2 weeks, they are not feeling as much pain. But once they actually hit that, like once they see that their monthly paychecks not coming along, like that's when things get crazy. Like that's when things like really gonna upset a lot of people. So I'm thinking that the shutdown gonna end in days, maybe give it another week or two, but this has to come to an end soon, sooner rather than later. So that's like bullish catalyst number 4. And then if we also look at the S&P 500, like when we do analysis, it always makes sense to look at the S&P 500 as well, because Bitcoin is highly correlated with the S&P. And when S&P is so close to its all-time high, it's very difficult to ignore all this like bullish catalyst. Like if you tell me that we are approaching the end of we have already seen the cycle top, and this basically caused by Donald Trump's tweet about the 100% tariff rate, I would say that's extremely stupid. Because back in 2022, we have rate hikes, we have FTX, we have Terra Luna, and if this is only crashed because of Donald Trump's one tweet, or maybe Bitcoin need to be so aligned with the 4-year cycle, then I got nothing to say. We could just like throw all the data or the analysis out of the window. Anyway, so that's for the daily. Let's also hop onto the weekly right now. So we're slowly building up that case, building up that time frame. So on the weekly, let me remove all the drawings because it's very, very annoying to look at. So anyways, as I hop onto the higher time frame, I always like to bring out the 50-week moving average because this indicator has never failed us. If we have 2 weekly candles close below the 50-week moving average, I'm out of here because we are done. I'll see you in the next bull run. But luckily not, we are not seeing this. Okay, even if we dip below the 50 week, so the 50 week right now is sitting at 102K, like touching or kissing the 50 week is actually okay. turns out it's going to be a perfect opportunity to buy. But what we have to eye very closely is that either, okay, is it we touch the 50-week or we close below the 50-week? That's going to make a drastic difference. But right now, it looks more like a correction to me. Okay, if we don't see a new all-time high as late as December this year, so December 2025, then 2026 likely going to be a full-on bear market for an entire year, because I'm just like saying what I see from the 4-year cycle and also from the chart. So we kind of have to take this one at a time. That's why we're doing live stream every single day. Anyways, like speaking of 4-year cycle, let's also hop on to basically the 4-year cycle return. So the reason why people are calling the top on 6th of October is that, okay, if you take the cycle bottom to the cycle top, like we will get a number, like a magical number of 1,064 days, basically every cycle. And we have that for 3 cycles already. So that's how we got 6th of October. And actually, some of my friends, they were taking massive profit. They were actually gloating right now, saying, okay, I took my profit, I'm out of here. But okay, speaking of the 4-year cycle, there are different ways of measuring whether we are at the cycle top or not. So the first way is basically cycle bottom to the cycle top. The second way is cycle top to cycle top. So if we use this, we're going to get a different metric. So we're going to get 1,477 days. So that's for the first cycle, and the second one is, so the rough number I would say, so 1,400 something days. That's the rough estimates we have. So if we use this number instead, we stretch that out from November 2021, and we apply this magical number of 1,400, we're going to get mid-November 2025. So yeah, I mean, basically, okay, you guys might be confused right now. There are 3 groups of people when it comes to calling the cycle top. So the first group is that the cycle top is already in. So those people are calling that 6th of October is already the top. So 126K is already the top. The second group of people is just what I show you. Q4 2025 is the cycle top. So maybe in November, we're gonna see a cycle top, or maybe if we're extremely lucky, we could stretch that out to December. So that's the second group. And then the third group is saying that this cycle is different. All right, so I am more like I'm more siding with the second group, because for the third narrative, we have heard of this narrative quite sometimes. Like every single cycle, we have a group of people saying that this cycle is different because we have DeFi now. This cycle is different because we have NFT, and NFT brings in a massive inflow of retail customers getting into the crypto market. So I'll say every cycle we have a new narrative, but turns out every cycle looks the same. So I saw Bam Bam Crypto was siding with group number 3, but I'm afraid to break it to you, I'm siding with group number 2 because of what I see from here. Like, okay, I don't think the cycle top has already in, because I cannot ignore the bullish factor, the macro, because the macro is, again, it's looking great. We know global liquidity is unlocking. We know shutdown going to come to an end. We know the leverage has been reset. We know QT has going to come to an end very, very soon. So all these bullish catalysts, I couldn't ignore because the macro is simply so good. But yeah, I mean, Q4, I'm being very cautious. That's why I keep mentioning that we are taking things one at a time. So let's see how it goes. Anyways, that's for the TA. Let's also quickly hop on to the on-chain analysis I prepared for you guys. Oh, before we hop onto that, here you go. That's the Bitcoin monthly returns. We thought we are going to get an October, but ended up with getting a negative number. So today is 24th of October. Let's see if we manage to change that. If so, I'll be extremely happy. All right, so the first on-chain indicator I'm bringing to you guys is the long-term holder binary spending indicator. So this basically it shows when long-term Bitcoin holders, like people who have been holding Bitcoin for more than 155 days, how they are spending and holding the coins. It splits the activity into two groups. So the first one is the moderate spending. So light selling, usually healthy for a bull market. And then the second group is the heavy spending. So large sell-offs often happen near the market top. So when the indicator is high, it means long-term holders are selling a lot, usually taking profit near a peak. Vice versa, if it's low, it means they are holding tight, which is a sign of strong belief or accumulation phase, basically. So what we're seeing in this chart right now, long-term holders are selling some Bitcoin, which is normal in a bull market. But the interesting thing is they are selling less in past cycles. So every bull run, the total long-term holder supply drops, but the bottom of that drop is now higher than before because we have highlighted in this yellow horizontal line. All right, so every bull run, the total long-term holder supply drops, but the bottom of that drop is again higher. This shows more Bitcoin is being locked away by strong holders over time. So even long-term holders are distributing coins to new buyers. There's no doubt we're seeing that on the chart. We haven't seen heavy selling yet. That means the market is likely still in a healthy phase of distribution, not a final top signal. In short, long-term holders are taking some profit, but the real all-out sell phase hasn't started yet. This supports the idea that the bull run, basically, there's still some room for growth. And the second one I want to bring to your attention is of course, the everything indicator. It combines multiple key Bitcoin metrics into one single chart. It includes different tools like MV/LV set score, SOPL, global liquidity, M2 supply, etc. So basically, when the score is high, the market is too hot, so likely near a top. When the score is low, the market is simply too cold. So in other words, it's a good time to enter the market, is accumulation phase. So this indicator basically gives us a full picture of Bitcoin's health, not just one angle like price or sentiment alone. So what's happening right now is that it has been forming higher lows, as we have like circle here with the green round, so green circle. So we have been forming higher lows this whole cycle, meaning the market keeps building a stronger base for each pullback. Even though prices cool off short term, the data shows no signs of real weakness like we saw in bear markets. In fact, it's still way below the red danger zone. So the red danger zone that usually marks cycle tops. So what does this mean? The market might be taking a little breather right now. It's not too overheated yet, but we still have a long way. Like if you ask me if we still have a long way to go, maybe not neither. That's what it means. All right, so the third indicator, that on-chain indicator I like to bring to you guys is the on-chain originals price model. So it brings together several key on-chain valuation tools to estimate Bitcoin's fair value. Instead of just looking at price, they track how much people actually paid for their Bitcoin and how strong holders' conviction is. So here are the main main line or main tools you guys could pay attention to. First one is the realized price. So the purple line here, this purple line is the realized price. Of course, the average cost basis of all coins in circulation. And then we have the balance price and floated price and true market mean. So these models help show if Bitcoin is overheated, fairly priced, or cheap compared to its real on-chain fundamentals. What's happening right now is that Bitcoin's price kind of sit between the defaulted price and the true mean price. So again, the defaulted price is the green line, so right here, and then the true mean price is the blue line here. So right now we are in between. So in previous cycles, when price approached or broke above the defaulted price, it often marked a local top before months of sideways movement. This cycle, Bitcoin hasn't reached that defaulted price yet, meaning the rally may still have room to grow. In the short term, the key level is like the key level right here to watch is again 113K. This also aligned with the TA we were doing in the beginning of the show. If Bitcoin breaks and holds above that zone, it would confirm strength across several on-chain levels, including the short-term holder cost basis and the 128-day moving average that we cover extensively on Roxanne TV. So even though long-term holders are selling, which always happens during bull runs, the data still points to basically a normal consolidation before a potential leg up. In short, what this data is showing us, what TA and on-chain, what these data are showing us is that the party is still on and the Bitcoin bull market hasn't left the building yet. So that's what it's showing. Anyway, so that's for all the data and the number. Next segment of this show, we're definitely going to do some news analysis and what's going on with CC because it has been stealing the spotlight. But before we actually go into the news, let's take a little break and I'll see you guys after 3 minutes.
Security matters. Zappo Bank, the only way to bank your Bitcoin. Apply now at zappobank.com.
So, tell us about your furry friend here. What's his name?
Oh, this? This is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin?
It's not just a cat, he's family.
Quite a name, and I must say, looks quite pampered.
Oh, absolutely. Bitcoin deserves nothing but the best. He's my little prince.
But with such a valuable pet, aren't you afraid of losing him?
Losing Bitcoin? No, it never happened before, so it's not something I worry about. Excuse me for a moment. Bitcoin, stay here, right?
Bitcoin, no! Bitcoin, come on, little buddy, Bitcoin, I need you. Don't go.
Alright guys, welcome back to Roxanne TV. As I promised you guys before the ad, we're gonna do the news analysis and also what's going on with Binance and CZ. He has been stealing the spotlight for quite some time. Ever seen the market crash, I would say. But anyways, what happened half a day ago during Asia's sleeping time is that Donald Trump gave a full pardon to CC, the founder of Binance. So the pardon erased CC 2023 federal conviction under the Bank Secrecy Act. So This law deals with AML rules because Binance failed to stop criminals from using the platform. Those crimes include drug trafficking, child abuse networks, and even terrorist groups. So CC actually served 4 months in prison, stepped down as the Binance CEO, and paid 4 billion in fines. The pardon actually wiped his record clean, but of course, this does not protect him from future crime. So what this actually means that erase all the conviction, it ends supervised release or probation of CC himself, but of course, it also restore rights like voting and running a business, but it does not cover new crimes after the pardon or international cases. So why Donald Trump all of a sudden pardoned CC? I would say the timing wise is very interesting. The White House said it ends the Biden administration war on crypto. Trump said himself that CC wasn't guilty of a real crime. Many see this as political, like a move to please crypto supporters. So CC and Binance had financial ties with Trump-linked ventures as well. So that's when it gets interesting, and that's why people are saying there's market manipulation going on, especially as we cover extensively yesterday on Roxham TV, why people are pointing finger at Binance and how they were controlling the market along with market maker like Wintermute. So basically that's where it gets interesting. So Binance actually invested $2 billion in Liberty Financial, so the USD1 stablecoin, of course, co-founded by the Trump's family. CC also linked is YC Labs, invested $15 million into a company owned by Donald Trump's son. So they have deep ties. After the pardon, of course, the market's going to like that very much, especially tokens like BNB. So BNB, like in the past 24 hours, you see this huge jump. So from basically 1100 to 1148 88 $11.48. So that's for BNB. Another tokens that really reap the benefit is of course WLFI. You're seeing on the chart, like the past 24 hours, we're having this huge jump from 12 cents to over 14 cents in a matter of like within an hour. So that's how the market reacted. But I will say timing wise, the pardon literally came 2 weeks after the Black Friday we experienced on 10th of October. So if you guys were trading that, I hope you guys didn't lose a lot of money, because we know that an official number of $19 billion were liquidated in all these leverage positions within just like literally an hour. So the crash started with Donald Trump announced 100% tariffs on Chinese imports. Binance was blamed for it because their accounts being frozen and there were failed orders. And there was also a depacking event that happened on Binance, very exclusive to Binance, and when it comes to the USDE from Ethereum. So people are really unhappy with Binance. Binance is trying to buy its customer back because they promise a $400 million in compensation, but people looks like they're not buying it. We have seen the boycott Binance hashtag on Twitter trending, especially trending in the past few days. So traders are saying that okay, the payouts were fake and they're just not buying it. So some think the pardon was linked to a political deal or payback for Binance support. But anyways, because like that market crash was extremely weird. We have seen wallets, like there's a wallet pulling a short position literally 30 minutes before Donald Trump releasing that tweet on Truth Social about the 100% tariff rates on China. And that wallet, of course, profited massively. So people were saying that individual account looks like they have strong tie with the Trump family. So yeah, I mean, looks like there's manipulation, but of course there's no proof yet. We have only seen wealth transfers and strange volume spikes on chain. People were saying that, okay, Binance sold big amounts of BTC, ETH, Solana to Wintermute right before the crash. So a lot of accusation going on, but at the same time, we don't have actual evidence. So none of this is confirmed yet. So what this pardon mean for basically for crypto for CC right now? So his criminal record is basically everything is erased, even the 4 months he spent in prison. So all the criminal records is erased. He can still run companies or join financial projects again, but he's right now under tight global watch. Both the US regulators, so SEC and DOJ, will monitor him very closely. And if there's any new violation, again, that means new charges. So the pardon won't help. Binance still face like civil and international restrictions, of course, but what it means in the crypto world and the reaction in crypto world, like it's very extreme, I would say. Like when it comes to the CC supporters, they're saying, "Oh, it's a win for innovation," and CC is saying this will help the US becoming the actual global crypto capital. So that's what the supporters are saying. Of course, there are critics, lots of critics, basically. People are saying is corruption or pay for pardon, those politics. And they are still pointing finger at Binance AML failures. And of course, Elizabeth Warren is saying, okay, basically just rewarding bad actors with money. So I would say the social media is very split. Some is cheering, some is saying, okay, we need justice. But actually, this is not the first time Donald Trump pardoning someone in the crypto world. So he has pardoned, of course, the BitMEX crypto co-founder. So he is Arthur Hayes himself. So earlier in March this year, Donald Trump also pardoned Arthur Hayes and a bunch of like BitMEX founders. There's talk he might pardon Sam Bankman-Fried next, but this is just rumor. Like this is just talk. None of this is confirmed yet. What it shows, I would say, Donald Trump is really like continuing to favor his allies in crypto and in finance and in tech. The pardon helps CC to restart his career but not escape the future law, of course. It just shows that Donald Trump, his conviction and really trying to position the US as the crypto-friendly country. But again, like stuff like this, there's some ethical questions being raised, like is justice being sold to the highest bidders? Are we seeing politics mixed too deeply with crypto? So that's something like food for thought, I would say. CC record is clean, is clear right now. Binance gets some breathing room, and Donald Trump strengthened his image as crypto's defender, but at what cost? Anyway, so let me know what's your thought. Like, do you think this is a fair pardon or a dangerous message for the future of crypto? Let me know in the comments below. Let's move on to the next part of the next news I want to bring to you guys. So we were talking about Peter Schiff, and basically more news about CC because there is a new debate between CC and also Peter Schiff. As we know, he really is a gold supporter. So what they're fighting about over Twitter, over the internet is, okay, is tokenized gold a smart innovation or a dumb idea? This actually started right after Donald Trump pardoned CC. Maybe not right after, but like basically it just happened half a day ago. So Peter Schiff was promoting his own tokenized gold project while CC called it dumb. They have now agreed to a formal debate. So Bitcoin versus tokenized gold, which is better form of money. Of course, details like the date or format or moderator, everything is still pending. Peter Schiff actually sent out a post to give suggestions who's going to be the best moderator. Is it Joe Rogan or Elon Musk or stuff like that? But likely the debate is not going to in person. Very possibly going to be virtually because Peter Schiff is in the US and CC is in the UAE. So very much is going to be virtually, but both of them, they have agreed to actually discuss or debate which one is better. So if you guys want to know more the context, so the tokenized gold that Peter Schiff has been building. So basically, a tokenized gold, it means like the digital tokens backed by physical gold stored in vaults. So each token represents ownership of a small piece of real gold. For example, Pax Gold or Tether Gold. And right now, Peter Schiff have this new project, the Schiff Gold, T Gold. So Peter Schiff described the system as a way to carry all your gold around in your phone, enabling users to spend fractions through a debit card or redeem for coins. He argued that gold is one thing that actually makes sense to put on a blockchain. Of course, there's still risk involved because what he means is that you now have to trust the custodian. So if the custodian lies or fails, you lose your backing. That's what it means. So when it comes to the history of Peter Schiff supporting gold and hating on Bitcoin, so Peter Schiff actually hated Bitcoin since Bitcoin came out. So he has been very public about it since 2011, calling it a bubble or tokenized nothing. He believes only gold has real value. So Bitcoin is based on faith. CC has ignoring him for years, but yesterday he chose to basically pick fight. So what happened with this Peter Schiff? So how's it build up? Like why CC all of a sudden is picking fight with Peter Schiff? So Peter Schiff has been teasing his own gold-backed token under Schiff Gold. So he said tokenized gold would put Bitcoin out of business. He promoted that as a much better idea than stablecoins because gold actually has some real value. So that has been building up ever since mid 2025. So he has been teasing out since like July, basically a few months ago. So what happened basically yesterday is that he released a video. So I'm not sure if I could play it now, but basically there's a video released about Peter Schiff talking about this new tokenized gold app where users can buy gold through their phone, store it in vaults, and transfer or redeem it anytime they want. And okay, this person shared the post, shared the video out, and CC actually cold tweeted the video. So that's what CC said. He's saying like tokenized gold is dumb. So saying the obvious, most people in crypto know this. Most people not in crypto may not understand yet. Tokenizing gold is not on-chain gold. It's tokenizing that you trust some third party will give you gold at some later date, even after the management changes, maybe decades later during a war, etc. It's a trust me bro token. This is the reason no gold coins have actually took off. So he was really picking fight and debating with Peter Schiff. So for him, like Bitcoin already does gold's job much better. Bitcoin is the medium of exchange. Like you can send it globally instantly, where gold, of course, you can't send it instantly. Bitcoin is again a store of value. There's like a limited supply, 21 million coins have existed. Whereas gold, like we still practically can't know how much gold actually exists in this planet Earth. And when it comes to unit of account, like there's like growing usage worldwide for Bitcoin. So this post of CC went viral. So look at this, like the views, like 1.7 million views, because he was picking fight with Peter Schiff. So of course Peter Schiff fired back. He was saying, okay, some custodians like brains, they have been trusted for more than 100 years. So Peter Schiff was asking CC that, okay, if you don't trust all these custodians, like, do you actually hate stable coins too? And then he challenged him with a public debate. So actually, CC agreed to that. And then Peter Schiff posted on Twitter, he was saying the debate is on. And he was asking for a poll whether like who is going to be the best moderator for this debate. And then I mean, I wanted to vote for Joe Rogan, but Elon Musk is a pretty good fit as well, in my opinion. Anyways, like for Peter Schiff, we know his stance. So he would say, okay, gold has more than 5,000 years of value, while Bitcoin maybe 15 or 16 years of hype. Custodian trust is not a weakness, it's the same as stable coins, and those already work fine. He argues like tokenized gold meets all the money conditions, so medium of exchange, unit of account, like very stable pricing. We saw there's like a huge lines queuing outside of a gold store because people feeling the FOMO, seeing gold reaching new all-time high every single day. And then, of course, it's a store of value. So gold has been proven its value for its entire history. So that's why Peter Schiff has been calling Bitcoin tokenized nothing. This debate, I'll say, it's not personal. It kind of like represents two worlds. So crypto world, more specifically Bitcoin world versus gold. So I would say, okay, his idea of bringing gold to on-chain is, of course, like part of LWA. And if you have been watching my content for a while, you know I'm very bullish on LWA, the entire sector. We know institutions are coming in, so there's like no reason to ignore this sector, in my opinion. So as for LWA, right now the LWA protocol is worth around $18 billion. But like tokenized gold is worth only about like $3.8 billion out of gold's market cap of $22 trillion. So I would say the growth is massive. That's why Peter Schiff's new product, his Schiff Gold, is part of this LWA trend. CC's attack came just after his pardon by Donald Trump. Of course, like something he's just trying to reclaim the spotlight, trying to, I don't know, pick fights for no reason. But we're still waiting for the actual public debate between this old money system and the new money system. So I'll for sure grab my popcorn and watch how it goes because it's extremely entertaining. Yeah, I'm very curious how that's gonna turn out. Anyways, like if we have more details about this debate, of course, we're gonna break it to you on Roxham TV. Next, also look at some US news, so local US news. What US is facing, like some of the issues. So car repossessions approaching record high because the rates are still high. So one problem that the US is facing right now is there's a major surge in car repossessions. It's actually the worst since 2008 financial crisis. So there are reports that just literally came out a few days ago. So 2025 has seen over 7.5 million repossession assignments. So it has already been recorded this year. So 7.5 million repossession cases, and we are only in October. So that's pretty crazy. Q4 is not even done yet. This, I would say, is not just about cars. It's actual warning that American households are undergoing financial pressure, especially those already struggling with high costs and debt. So over 100 million Americans currently have and auto loan. And the Nonprofit Consumer Federation of America estimates that the combined auto debt exceeds $1.6 trillion. So 1.6, sorry, 1.6. So that's pretty crazy. What's really happening is that, okay, we know the rates are still really high. If we look at the car loan, so if we look at the car loan rates, of course, it changes, depends on your credit score. So let's take the excellent credit score, right? So right now it's around 5% for new cars and around 7% for used cars. Meanwhile, real wages haven't grown much, and prices for food and housing are still rising, maybe 4 to 5% per year. So people's paychecks simply don't stretch as far anymore. That's why they're really experiencing the stress. New cars now average around $40,000 to $50,000, with loan terms stretching 6 to 7 years. During the pandemic, many buyers took on cheap loans and small down payments. Now, as used car price falling, millions owe more than their cars are worth. So it's basically a negative equity. And on top of that, just to top it off, we have a really weak labor. We know unemployment rate is taking up right now, sitting at 4.3%. So the job labor market is looking extremely weak. What this means for the economy. So, like, while we're looking at titles like this, the car repossessions might sound like a small issue, but they're actually a big economic warning sign. Consumer spending drives around 70% of the US economy. And when people lose their cars, they likely going to cut back on spending on like dining out, on shopping, or basically leisure. So that's not entirely good for the US economic growth. So from the outside, US economy looks really strong. So again, when we go back to the S&P 500, we are very close to the new all-time high. GDP at a growth rate of 3.8% in quarter 2 2025, and unemployment practically still below 5%. So what we notice is that Wall Street is booming thanks to stuff like AI or tech investments, while Main Street is actually experiencing a lot of pressure, like cracking under debt. So even the US economy looks fine on paper, this rising car repossession shows the cracks underneath. Families are stretched, credit is tightening, and the so-called soft landing might not be as soft as it seems. So the question now we have to ask, will the Fed step in with rate cuts soon enough or drastic enough? Like, is the 25 basis point in October enough to justify and push up the American economy? That's something we have to pay a close attention to. Anyway, so that's all the news I've prepared for you guys. Just a last last call to action before we end the show. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter. So my Twitter is jamjamcrypto_io. Make sure to follow Roxham TV as well. So at Roxham TV, because we have latest news breaking to you. So that's me coming live. We'll hit the like button. We have like latest news coming to you about the world, about geopolitics. So not just Bitcoin. There's a lot of valuable content. So make sure to give us a follow. Anyways, that's it for today's analysis. Coming to you from Roxham Hong Kong studio, of course. I am live again from Monday to Friday at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, breaking down the biggest stories in crypto markets and AI. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit the subscribe and catch the next one live. Every day, we connect the dots between global news and digital assets so you can stay ahead of the curve. Whenever or wherever you're tuning in, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next week.